Hello, everyone. My name is the Philosopher Johnson, and welcome to the Wake Up Call. This show is a prime example of you can't let nothing stop you when you're trying to get something done. Now, this AC unit, the button broke. I can't turn it off like I want to turn it off so that there will be no background noise. However, I can't get it to work. The message must come forth because I had something that I wanted to speak about. And it's a part of my testimony, part of my life. And because I was in church and it was on my spirit to speak about my childhood, about my mother when she passed, how she passed, and just some of that time frame of my life. So, as to encourage people, the theme is that no matter what we have went through, we got to let that go. Can't be holding on to it. So before I get into too much explaining, let me go back a little bit. Well, my mother passed in 1989 from AIDS or HIV because she used to smoke drugs and her boyfriend gave it to her. For years, I could not speak that to anyone, let alone sitting in front of a camera knowing that how many other people may be able to see it. So the message is, the purpose is because for so long that affected me. Now, I was 8 years old when I learned this, only because I heard my aunt and my first cousin talking about it. This is why it's important to be careful what you say in front of kids because they do understand. You think they don't, but they do. Because all of my life, from being 8 years old to finna be 38 this year, that has affected me for 29 going on 30 years. And added with everything else in my life, that really affected my decision making. I would always use that as an excuse within myself. That would always play a part in I don't care because of, or just the burden of feeling the weight that knowing something that like that allows you to feel. The point is, because I was talking to a guy a little brother, I call him my little brother because he go to church with me. His mother them go to church with me. He experienced something that traumatized him, a couple things that traumatized him as a child. And he's only 23 now, but this happened when he was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, teenage, adolescent to teenage. And it's these things, he hold on to them as an excuse and use them as an excuse as to why I don't care or why I gotta smoke weed or why I just, as an excuse. So no matter what we have went through as a child, what things have taken place to us as a child. Some of us have been abused as children, 5 and 6 years old, I myself included. My first time really ever being able to say this. And it only made me violent. It only made me aggressive. It only made me the person who I used to be known as. But Jesus, but God has allowed me to go through those things. And it took me a long time to stop using what happened to me as a child as an excuse, as a source of weakness on top of weakness. Because that's all it is. If when you're a child, okay, but as you become a man, a grown, it's time to get past those things. It's time to utilize that as motivation. That's the fuel to my fire. We cannot allow our past to affect us negatively. Even the people who have done the things that cause us to be hurt as a child, we have to forgive them. Because holding on to these things causes us to hurt people because we've been hurt. It's not right at all. From the cause to the effect, there's no justification for the action. That's why it's so important that we address the issue within ourselves. We must address what it is that is causing us to act out of character or conduct. It could be simple as not getting attention. It could get so deep as to be demonic, evil, because the person has partaken in bad for so long that it has went through the threshold of darkness. But if that individual does not step back, acknowledge and address those things within himself, sometimes there is no help and you have to do it on your own. Sometimes we need some assistance. Sometimes we need some encouragement. I am here to encourage you that we have to let go of those things that happened in our childhood. That those things that caused us pain, grief, hurt, depression. We have to let it go. I know it hurt. But you have to find a way to use that memory. Say, well, you know what? I forgive. I forgive them. I forgive myself. It's time to move on. If I do not, I take the chance of becoming, there's an older guy that it's been placed on my heart to take care of him lately. He's homeless. He's 70 years old. He sleeps behind the church on a cardboard box. It's really bad. Without going into too much details to kind of make you like abhorred, it's bad. That could be me. That could be anybody who falls victim to depression. That could be anybody who allows their past situations or even current ones to get them so far down that they have no ability, desire, even the know-how to get up. This old man, I help him and he cursed me out. But what is the cause of this condition? It's deeper than that. He's sick. His foot swole. He got cancer. What is it that caused us to get to a condition this severe? That's why it's important that we try to reach out to somebody. This is what the wake-up call is, to try to reach out to somebody. Because I could be in that same condition. I started off on this present time of my journey from a parking garage to the Salvation Army, sleeping on the ground once or twice myself. Step in the parking garage on the ground at first, and then on the ground again. And you're not even knowing that I was sleeping in it. So I understand. But what is it that allows an individual to stay in that broken condition? Oh, thank you, Lord. We got to try. We got to do our best to get up. And you know what that same guy see people, well, let them stay like that. I ain't going to help me. That could be you and me. Then you got to think of what is it that's done clicked in his mind that he just ain't got the strength. He know what condition he in and just have not the ability, the strength, or the knowledge of what direction or how to even start. The moral of the story is we have to accept the response. What's that? The serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things that I can and the wisdom to know the difference or something. Whatever I can change, I need to do my best to try to change it. Whatever I cannot, I got to give it to God and just try to do what I can do. Because the worst condition that you have seen could easily be me or you. So for those of us who have been to the bottom, are still on the bottom, who are struggling, have gone through the struggle, are struggling, are struggling, you got to do your best. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot give up. Even when you want to give up. Even if you have given up, get back up. It's not over. It's not over. Every day you wake up, you got another chance. It's not over. Get up. Even the worst memory that you can think of. I don't even have 10 memories of my mother. I can use that as an excuse to be depressed and down. Or I can use that as a tool to teach someone. Like I was just telling one of the kids tonight, I seen how he addressed his mother sort of aggressively. My mother been dead since 1989. I don't even have 10 memories that I can tell you of. You better honor your mother and it's important. It's important for the society, for the people as a whole. It's important that we honor our mothers and our fathers. That thy days may be long and that it may be well with thee. Wake up call.